Refueling motorhomes and other vehicle-mounted ASME tanks. Propane dispensers are used to refuel motorhome tanks and other vehicle-mounted ASME tanks, such as catering truck tanks. This section does not discuss autogas dispensers. Please view Module 9 for more information on autogas dispensing station equipment. This module gives you the basic information needed to fill motorhome tanks and other vehicle-mounted ASME tanks. However, before you begin the filling process, you need to make sure that you view the first 3 modules of this program. These 3 modules will provide you a better understanding of how to safely handle and transfer liquid propane, as well as a review of the dispensing equipment you will use. You have not completed the necessary training to fill motorhome and other vehicle-mounted ASME tanks unless you complete modules 1 through 3 first. In order to fill these tanks safely, they must be inspected to be sure they have all the correct markings, components, and are in good condition. Features of vehicle-mounted ASME tanks. There are several variations of vehicle-mounted ASME tanks. All variations are equipped with an ASME data plate, a fixed maximum liquid level gauge, a relief valve, a 1 3/4-inch Acme filler valve, a float gauge that displays approximate liquid level. A fixed maximum liquid level gauge is installed in the ASME tank with a tube inside at the maximum liquid filling line. Fuel tank float gauges are used to confirm the liquid level before and after filling. They are not used for filling, but rather to let you know when you need a refill. The filler valve assembly may include a stop-fill auto-stop valve that acts as an overfill protection device, similar to those used in portable DOT cylinders. Motorhome tanks and other vehicle-mounted tanks provide vapor service to appliances within a vehicle, such as a gas range. A vapor service valve assembly may include a relief valve. A pressure regulator is connected to the vapor service valve. If the tank is enclosed within the body of the vehicle, hoses called pipe-aways may be connected to the relief valve, the filler valve, and the fixed maximum liquid level gauge to carry any discharged propane to the outside and to provide ready access for filling. Inspection of tank, valves, and hoses. When inspecting the tanks, valves, and hoses, look for the following signs of damage. Any damage could cause a propane leak, which could result in a fire. Damage to filler valve threads or gaskets. Damage to the fixed maximum liquid level gauge. Damage to a vapor service hose or valve. Damage to the relief valve or pipe-away hose. Damage to the tank, dents, gouges, or significant corrosion. A cracked float gauge face. If any damage is present, do not fill the tank. Verify markings and labels. The following markings and labels must be present and visible. An ASME data plate lists the working pressure and other tank information. If the data plate is missing or illegible, or shows a working pressure other than 250 or 312 psi, the tank must not be filled. Filling motorhome or other vehicle-mounted ASME tanks. Before filling a vehicle-mounted ASME tank, make sure no one is inside the vehicle and that the ignition is turned off. Customers should be restricted from the immediate area around the liquid propane filling operation. Make sure there are no ignition sources within 25 feet of the fill connection or metal working operations, including grinding, oxygen fuel gas cutting, brazing, soldering, or welding, within 35 feet. Filling procedures for vehicle-mounted ASME tanks used for motorhomes and catering trucks are used to supply propane appliances that are possible ignition sources. Therefore, it is critically important that appliance pilots and electronic ignition systems are turned off before starting the filling process. Notify the owner that you are turning the propane fuel supply off at the vapor service valve. Be sure that pilots and ignition systems are off. Always put on appropriate personal protective equipment before starting the filling operation. Set the propane meter to 0. Connect the fill hose to the tank fill valve. Open the vent valve on the fixed maximum liquid level gauge and check for flow. If vapor appears, continue the filling process. If liquid appears, stop the filling process because the tank is full. Start the pump and slowly open the valve on the end of the hose. When a steady white mist or fog is first emitted from the fixed maximum liquid level gauge or the OPD stops the flow, immediately close the hose end valve. Close the fixed maximum liquid level gauge. Shut off the pump. Slowly loosen the filler adapter to vent liquid propane trapped between the filler adapter and the tank filler valve. Wait until propane stops venting before completely disconnecting the adapter. Check the valve for leaks and replace the dust cap. If it is not your company's policy to light customer pilot lights, you should advise the customer to have a professional service company or gas distributor light the pilot lights, and that if the customer does this without professional help, the appliance manufacturer's instructions must be followed carefully. When the dispenser is not in use, or at any time that a qualified dispenser operator is not in attendance, it should be shut down and secured in keeping with company operating procedures. The shutdown procedure should ensure that dispenser operating valves are closed. Transfer hoses are secured in storage cabinets or their designated locations. The dispenser cabinet or fence gates are closed and locked. Becoming familiar with both the fuel system and safe filling procedures will ensure your safety as well as that of your customers.